So, hi, welcome to an unboxing. This is a DVD Blu-ray unboxing. I believe this is the first one that I've made in some time. I haven't checked when the last one was, but it has to have been a while ago. I was just outside, picked this up, slightly winded still, apparently. I am slightly sleep deprived as well, so if I fuck up somewhere, it's because I'm slightly sleep deprived. Okay. But I couldn't wait to open this up. I'm really excited about this. I suppose a brief description of what's in here. Well, it's DVDs and it's Blu-rays. Not a huge amount, but it's quite heavy, so that's a good sign. But I ordered a bunch of things from WowHD, which I've done a few times now, and I've always had good experiences from them. They tend to have things for quite cheap, but you kind of have to be persistent because sometimes they don't have what you're looking for. So you need to check back, and then you need to check back again, and then again, and finally the wait, the patience pays off, because you eventually you can find some DVDs and Blu-rays that are much more expensive elsewhere. At least for me, because I don't have to pay for shipping because WowHD has free shipping. And I mean, this one was sent from the Netherlands, so no import fees for me living within the EU. And the pricing for the Blu-rays and the DVDs are also lower than Amazon almost all the time, I feel like. So if I mean, in my case, when I've been patient and waited until I can find stuff from WowHD, I have actually saved a lot of money, and we have a couple of those instances here. Now, what we have here is, in terms of genre, it's a lot of the kind of things that I've been interested in for the past a few years now. A lot of genre cinema and kind of trashy outsider cinema, as well as some sort of art house experimental type things. So, you know, documentaries as well. Stuff in those sort of approximate genres, I think, is what we have here. I guess just see what we have. Totally Wired, 3 films by Nathan Silvers. So this is a bit different actually from those genres that I described. Maybe slightly art house, but it's a mumblecore films. And mumblecore, I mean, when I was younger, I associated the term mumblecore with something that was just painfully dry and dull and kind of pretentious, kind of hipstery in a way that just made me sick to my stomach. But I've seen a few mumblecore films recently that I've actually liked. And I know nothing about these, but they looked quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these are all about. They're not too long, I don't think. 217 minutes. For 3 films, I believe. So what's that? 3 hours 40 minutes. 3 film. Yeah, that's quite short. Like 1 hour 10-15 minutes each. If my math is not completely wrong. But yeah, in terms of special features, there's a short film by Nathan Silver, and there's an interview and a booklet. And this was put out by Factory 25. I've never heard of them before. Definitely the first title that I have from them. Here's a film that I just came upon by chance, whatever the grammar is. The Absence of Milk in the Mouths of the Lost. Now, it doesn't look like much. It doesn't really reveal too much, I guess. Although it is a fairly unique image. But it's quite plain cover, you could argue. But I looked this up, and it just seemed to be an unusual film, and I like unusual things. It's a feature-length drunk commentary with the writer-director. Well, anyway, some other stuff. This was put out by Art Label, another one that I don't have anything from before. But yeah, I would never have... I don't know, would never have found out about something like this if it wasn't put out by a label that was highlighted on Vinegar Syndrome. I mean, maybe I could have found it somewhere else, but this is a partner label. Where was it? Am I making that up? I feel like I found this on Vinegar Syndrome, and then I looked it up after that. Anyway, I don't know. But, cool. Okay, so here is one where patience paid off. Markie in Milwaukee. So this one, I checked time and time again on WowHD, and it just was never available. But it's a documentary that I suspect is going to be to my liking, because it highlights a person in a very raw and honest way, supposedly. That's how it's being described. And I typically like films like that, about either by eccentric people or just by people simply living their lives. You know, I don't like talking heads films, documentaries about people where other people tell their story. I like raw documentaries about people where the camera actually follow them along in a very personal and up-close manner, and that is what this seems to be. And it is described as a... Now, the way this has been described to me is that of a very raw and unflinching, maybe not unflinching, maybe that's not the right term, but a very, very raw and honest and barren and naked portrait of a transgender woman who is sort of being pressured by her conservative community to detransition. Now, I don't know if that is the way things go down, or if she does it by her own will. I really don't know how this... well, it says that she, at age 46, decides to finally come out as transgender. A decision that ends a 20-year marriage, cuts her off from her community, and estranges her from her 3 children. It doesn't say that she's forced to detransition. Maybe I made that up, but I think I thought somebody wrote that somewhere. Well, I'm gonna check it out and we'll see. But yeah, it just sounds like... I'm just curious about this person. It's really as simple as that. Icarus films. I love Icarus films. I have quite a few of their releases. I don't know if they do Blu-rays. I mean, maybe they do, but I think I mostly have DVDs from them. This has a... Wow. Amazing. A Q&A, 3 minutes long. Come on. I mean, okay. Well, it's better than nothing, but that is kind of shitty. It feels kind of hefty, though. Does this have a booklet? Or, oh, you know what? Icarus films, they often send brochures or whatever of their other releases that they have. So I'm sure that's what that is, that I can feel inside. Yeah. But I have found, through these booklets, I have found titles that I've been interested in. This one I have, but not from them. But yeah, so you can look through this for some inspiration. So I am happy that they send these, or I am if they update them. If it's the same one every time, it's like, well, I already have it. But if it's like slightly updated and modified, then that's a good thing. I don't have this one in here, but I may have a film from that director, so we shall see if I continue on here. Okay, not this one, but here is one called Ultramegalopolis. It doesn't look like what it is. I don't know what you would think that this movie is if you saw the cover. Perhaps an animated film. But it's actually a documentary about Los Angeles, and it's a quite long film, 2.5 hours. All I know is that it highlights LA, really. A 2.5 hour psychogeographic tour through the vast post-riot urban sprawl of Los Angeles. So post-riot, so that refers to LA 92. Would I according to my very limited knowledge on this, that would be after the Rodney King reaction, right, to the police officers not being sentenced, and then the subsequent riots. I suppose maybe that's what that's referring to. I don't know. But this is from the 90s, so it could very well be what that's referring to. Maybe it's going to specify down here, I don't know. But it's a lot of text, and I don't want to have to read everything. But it's, yeah, it just sounds it sounds like it could be repetitive and too long and too unfocused, but it also sounds like it could be quite mad and quite wild. So we shall see. It also has an audio commentary, has an interview. It has some bonus short films, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 short films. Now, something that I've noticed over the years, my preference of bonus features, how I value them. When I was young, when I was a teenager, bloopers was king. Which is so I couldn't be further from what I like watching now. But bloopers was my favorite, literally my favorite kind of special feature when I was younger, in my teens. And then when I got to be a little bit older, I really liked behind the scenes documentaries, excuse me. I should have had some water nearby. Anyway, and I still like behind the scenes documentaries and making offs. Not as much. These days I really like, I like commentaries, but these days, like the one thing that I treasure the most as a bonus feature is indeed bonus films, short films, or films produced adjacent to the filmmaker. Maybe, well, there's been instances, with some Blu-rays or some movies, some releases, where they have featured short films by maybe one of the starring actors or something like that, or just one of the people around the group of people who made the film. Well, anyways, something like that. But in this case, it is just it's Larry Wessel's own short films. Either way, like short films, period. That's what I treasure the most these days, as well as booklets. I think short films and booklets are the two things that I like the most in terms of special features these days. But this sounds like it can be quite wild, like I said, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, this is a Mondo Macabro DVD. Looks quite old. I don't know. In my mind, they well, I don't know. I suppose maybe I've had a few of their releases over the years, but I really know nothing about them. But this is Lady Terminator. I don't know that this is described as a so-called mockbuster, but I do know that the term exists. The way it's been presented to me is that it's going to be to my liking. I mean, just look at that picture. Right there. I mean, that looks great. The Wild Side of World Cinema. Yeah, Indonesia. An Indonesian Terminator from 1988. Oh, it's gonna be fun, isn't it? Yeah. Wait, let's see about the special features actually, because I've been doing that so far. So let's keep that up. Documentary on Indonesian exploitation. That sounds great. So I suppose what I was gonna say before is that this looks quite old. This DVD, because I associate that label with something that is not completely new. Maybe they still release stuff and maybe they use the same logo. But this DVD appears to be from 2004. You can kind of tell on the back especially. But I don't mind. I mean, it is literally a 20-year-old DVD. I was 12 years old when this was put out. Now that's kind of strange. But there you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here is it's a Jess Franco film. So I just thought, well, let me just check for nudity first. But there is no nudity. Lorna the Exorcist. This was put out by Kino Cult. I don't think there's been any repetition. This was put out by Saturn's Core. So yeah, completely different labels so far. That's fun. As you can see, all of the ones that I bought are region free because I only have a PlayStation 4. So, and I live in Europe. Audio commentary here, interview. Well, I really don't know anything about this, but I've seen a few Jess Franco films over the past few years, and I've really liked what I've seen. So I never liked sexploitation films now when I was younger, but the older I get, the more kind of tuned in I seem to become with kind of trash cinema of various kinds. If you can call this trash, I mean, I said that in my last update. Like I say trash in a loving way, or maybe not really knowing what else to describe the fucking thing as. But I mean, I haven't seen it yet. But Jess Franco's films, they weren't trash. I mean they were artistic, and they were sometimes violent, and you know. But they were. I mean, they're really quite good, the ones that I've seen. Here is something completely different. Here we go. Icarus Films. Okay. Youth Spring. This is a film by Wang Bing. So this is region 1 actually, but I do have a region free DVD player, just not a Blu-ray player. But I think everything else has been region free. I mean, the other 2 DVDs were. I think Markie in Milwaukee was, so that's good. But this one isn't, for some reason. But Wang Bing, he makes quite long films, as you can see, 215 minutes. This is a documentary. I don't even know what this highlights. It's a documentary driven by the thrum of industrial sewing machines, just like the lives of the young garment workers it portrays. Yeah, so I pointed to a film called Bitter Money in the Icarus booklet before. That's a film by Wang Bing that I've been looking for on WowHD. Not been able to find it yet, but I did. I mean, like I said, I was able to find Markie in Milwaukee eventually. So I'm sure I'll be able to find, hopefully I'll be able to find Bitter Money eventually as well on WowHD, as well as another one called Three Sisters, which is also put out. But this is the only one that I could find for now, Youth Spring. But yeah, so in terms of Wang Bing, I've only seen TCQ West of the Tracks, which I saw in the beginning of 2023. I loved that film. Like, I remember the experience of watching that. I was awake at night. It's a very long film, much longer than this even. So I watched it over the course of 3 nights, I think. And I was quite anxious at the time, but I remember that the film kind of helped me along during those evenings or those nights. And that film is just such a behemoth of a film, of a documentary. But that's like the main film that I've seen from Wang Bing. There was one called Coal Money, but that was quite a short film. It was good, but it was only an hour long, so it could have been expanded upon. But yeah, this one is well over 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Yeah, I really want to see everything from this director. He made a film called Till Madness Do Us Part, which I have been wanting to see. I think there's a French DVD, but it's not English friendly, because that's how they do it in France. But anyway, I think we have one left and one left only. Now this is... Oh yeah, I know which one this is. Okay, well this has a different cover. A really ugly cover compared to the one that I bought. Is this... well, it is region 0, so that's good. I mean, like I say, I do have a region-free DVD player. But anyway, it's nice to not have to bring that out, I guess. But yeah, the one that the DVD cover that was presented on the website was much nicer than this. I guess that doesn't matter. Videonomicon, I've never even heard of that company. Is this resealed? It doesn't seem completely new. I don't know. I've never really heard of this film, but I had added it to my list, and I looked it up, and it just seemed really cool. So I just bought it kind of blindly. Well, yeah, that was the... Oh, maybe it's a reversible cover. Yeah. So that was the picture presented. Yeah, see, what do you think? I can't even make sense of this. It's to me, this is ugly. I like that much better. That looks more like an original VHS cover. So I'm gonna change that. But yeah, so science crazed. It is, you know, I don't even know anything about it. It's like a low budget, yeah, horror cult film, 1989. I actually have nothing to say about it, but I know that I'm gonna enjoy watching this. I mean, you know, I tend to just quickly base my purchases sometimes on a limited amount of things. I don't really always want to know everything about the film, but I know what I look for at this point in films, and so I know, you know, what signs to look for, like, to make up my mind whether or not it's something that I might be interested in. And I just knew instinctively, based on, you know, just the artwork and looking it up on various websites, seeing some screenshots and stuff like that, that this is something I want to see. But that's the last one. So, pretty mixed selection. I am going to sit down right now, but I'm really tired. Maybe I should wait for a while, because I want to give the attention to these films that they deserve. But I was going to say, I'm going to sit down right now to watch Markie in Milwaukee. Usually when I buy films like this, selection of films, I always have like one of them in mind that I know that I want to watch first. And this is the one that I am the most curious about. It's going to be quite interesting to see what that's about, because I've looked at this cover so many times over the past year or maybe more. And I finally have it, so that's really cool. So we have a mix of things that I've known about for a long time, or for a while, like this one. And this one I've been aware of for a while. Everything else is sort of newer. I haven't been aware of, you know... Sorry. This bunch here is sort of... well, I mean, I'm aware of Wang Bing. Okay, so this... Well, I'm aware of Jess Franco. So these four are sort of blind buys. I don't really know what to expect from these, but they all look really wild in their own way. All right, I have rambled on enough. Tell me if you've heard of any of these. Really looking forward to this. I think that's all I have to say. So thank you very much for watching.